Let's talk about on-site chlorine generation quote creation. All right. So we have an account here that has requested on-site chlorine generation. They've already talked to the sales team, and the sales team has sent us a request to quote the installation. All right. So we've got a list of cases here under their account, and we can see this is the one where sales has already started talking with the customer. So we are going to generate a new case, and that case is where we're going to do the diagnostic and create the quote. So we have here, this is the work order that's already been created. I am under the Share and Picks folder. Okay. So we will create the service and repair case, generate a site survey, and send somebody out to take a look. They're going to take a whole bunch of pictures, and this is the one where I've gone ahead and marked it up to show the location where we need to put our power supplies. In this case, we have two. This one here is going to be for the pool, 46,000 gallons. So we're going to use a Pool Pilot Professional with 4 cells. This one will be for the spa, or vice versa. It doesn't really matter the location. And then this location is where we want them to contract an electrical contractor to run a new 240 volt circuit and terminate just in a 4x4 junction box. That way we can just tie our power in once we hang our power supplies. Now, in this instance, this is behind a vac pack in Florida, and so we're going to tie into the plumbing return lines, and we'll mount our cells just outside the vac pack back here. We'll build some bypasses and manifolds there. So let's see if we can take a look at the plumbing inside the vac pack. Took a lot of good pictures here. It's helpful. Okay, so this is our electrical panel. Obviously some repairs need to happen. There's no GFCIs. Now this is not in our scope to make these repairs. It's going to be an electrical contractor, but we can recommend that they address things like, hey, there's no GFCIs on the pool equipment, the dead front is missing, any of those things. We can go ahead and request that that happen at the same time. Now we'll still complete the install provided that the circuit that we're installing on does have the GFCI. This is outside the vac pack. The electrical panel's been closed. This is the spa heater coming out the left side. That's the pool heater back there. And so we're pretty cluttered inside this pump room, and it's going to be pretty tough. So this is our spa pump. It's running piping. Actually, that might not be the spa pump. It looks like this is one of the main pool pumps that ties into a manifold. Back in this corner is the return line where the heater loop is. So I don't know if we'll find the picture for the heater loop. There it is. So this is the heater loop where it ties back in on the return side. We need, since this T is right above the ground, we're going to end up having to cut this out and redo most of this heater loop, possibly even redo the valve. We could do a hack job and just tie it in, but we want to provide the customer with a good product here. So we're going to have to put bypasses on both of these systems rather than putting the manifolds inside because we just don't have room. All right, so that's the pictures in a nutshell. All right, so back on the account page, we have generated this case for the service and repair. We have generated a quote and marked the diagnostic not to be billed. Okay, I have created a plumbing list using the Harrington master plumbing sheet, and then listed out the strut that I'm going to need. Okay. We went ahead and calculated the plumbing, the labor, and the hardware. So plumbing is $38.50 to the customer. The labor for the installation is going to be about 2.5 days for 2 technicians because we do have quite a bit of plumbing to do, and there's just a lot of connections to be made and just a lot to make this happen. Okay. So then I've written out a step-by-step what we observed during the diagnostic as we normally would, and what it's going to take to make the installation happen. Now the key takeaways here are we need to give the customer a clear picture of what they need to do with their electrical system, since they are going to hire an electrical contractor. And in this case, we're requesting a 30 amp, 240 volt circuit. And that's going to be run to the location in the picture. Now we're recommending a 4-cell power supply. This is getting sent to our sales representative. We're not negotiating with the customer directly on this. The sales representative is going to handle all the negotiations. So the sales representative in this case is Brian Zielinski. He's listed as our primary contact. And our total is going to be about $9,500. Now, we may end up coming down on our pricing a little bit depending on what sales comes up with. Ultimately, sales could tell us, hey, we're not going to bill the customer for this. In that case, what we do as service and repair, our amount will just get billed to the sales department and they'll eat the cost. And then the customer basically gets the installation for free. Rare case, but it can happen. Now, I have gone ahead and marked this presented because we're not actually sending it with DocuSign. I come up here to generate a quote, but once the PDF is generated, over here under the related, once the PDF is generated, I'm just going to attach that to the case for the sales team. And so this is what that will look like. Let's go back to the account. Once I've done my portion and we know what it's going to cost and all of that, we're going to find the case that our sales representative is using. And that's going to be this one because it's an installation case and it's pending. Okay, I'm going to navigate there. I'm going to go to the feed section, and I have made a post tagging the installations rep as well as the sales representative, and just let them know, hey, we've got the quote here. We're recommending 4 cells. Obviously they're going to do with that what they need to do. And then I've attached the picture with the locations and then the PDF. And so now they have the information that they need to go to the customer and let them know what it's going to cost for the install. All right, and that about does it. There may be some one-off or some more in-depth things that we have to deal with, but in a nutshell, this is our process right now. And if you got any other questions, hit me up. I'll answer them to the best of my ability.